Welcome to this tutorial video. The goal of this video is to give an explanation of the medical certificate and sick note. A sick note or medical certificate is a document written and signed by a practitioner indicating the outcome of a medical examination. The sick note or medical certificate is used as evidence that a patient is unfit for a range of tasks and should only perform light duty tasks, or possibly booked off entirely. A medical certificate can also be used if a parent or guardian requires a specific amount of time off in order to care for a dependent. First, let us go over how to access the sick note form. From the diary screen, click on the desired patient's booking. The diary sidebar will open. Click on the clinical button. The clinical screen will open. Next, click on the Forms Library drop-down menu and select the Sick Note form. Alternatively, click on the previously set up Sick Notes Easy Event. For more information on how to set up Easy Events, please refer to the Easy Events user manual linked in this video's description. The Sick Note form will open. Please note that all open clinical forms of a selected patient will show in the Active Forms section. Next, we will go over the various options available to complete the Sick Note form. The Patient Details panel consists of the personal information of the patient from when a file was initially opened during the first visit to the practice. The Patient Details panel will expand once clicked on. The title field will contain the marital status or profession of the patient. The name and surname fields display the patient's full first names and the last name as captured on the patient's file. The date of birth field is the year, month, and day on which the patient was born. The biological sex of the patient will be shown in the gender field. The next panel is the previous sick notes from the past week, where the practitioner is able to view whether a sick note has been completed for this patient within the previous 7 days. Click on the previous sick notes from the past week panel to expand. The fields will consist of the date the patient last received a sick note within the previous 7 days. The diagnosis that the practitioner has detected through various tests and procedures is displayed in the diagnosis column. The absent from date column shows from when the patient has reduced duties or was completely absent from work or school, as well as the absent to date column, which shows when the patient was able to fully return to normal duties. Click on the Add Sick Note button if the user wishes to add the information from the previous sick note to the new sick note if the diagnosis has not changed. Click on the Remove Sick Note button to remove the previous sick note's information. The diagnosis section is used by the practitioner to describe the patient's diagnosis and give the relevant ICD-10 codes. The diagnosis code can be checked in the ICD-10 search field. A diagnosis is a detection of a medical issue that has been identified by a practitioner through various tests and procedures. ICD-10 codes are used to indicate the diagnosis of the patient's illness or medical condition. The diagnosis that will print on the physical sick note can be changed manually by using the diagnosis displayed on printout free text field. Additional checkboxes are given in the options section where the user is able to prepare certificates for the patient. If the user ticks the Prepare Reason to Travel certificate, all the patient's details and booking information will display on the travel certificate. Please note that a diagnosis and extra information sections will no longer be available once the Prepare Reason for Travel certificate checkbox has been ticked. The date of treatment field will also only be available in the Date section. If a parent or guardian requires family responsibility leave to care for the patient, the user can tick the Prepare Family Responsibility Certificate for Family Member checkbox. Additional family responsibility information fields will become available. Click on the Family Leave To field, where the user is able to select the date that the guardian may need time off until. Type the name of the guardian that requires leave and the family member that needs leave field. A reason for why the guardian may need leave can be typed in the Reason for Leave field. The practitioner is able to choose if the travel certificate and family responsibility certificate are required to be printed in the Documents to Print section. The user is able to choose between all to print all of the available documents, medical travel certificate, or family responsibility certificate. The Date section refers to the specific timeframes of when the patient has been seen by the practitioner and when the patient will be required to be booked off from any heavy duty work or be booked off from any type of duty entirely. Date of treatment is the date on which the patient has been treated by the practitioner. The date of treatment will automatically be filled in with the current date that the patient's booking is occurring. The date from which the patient was booked off from work can be filled into the absent from field. Click on the absent from field to open a date picker, where the user will be able to select the desired date. The user is able to type the number of days the patient requires off into the number of days field. The absent to and including field will automatically be populated with the correct date once the number of days field has been completed. The date on which the patient should return for a follow-up visit can be completed by clicking on the follow-up field. The dates from which the patient is able to start light duty and end light duty can be completed by clicking on each field and selecting the desired dates. Additional details that the practitioner can list on the sick note to personalize the note more towards the patient's type of duty can be completed in the extra information section. The user is able to click on the relevant information radio button that suits the patient's situation best. The user can choose between "in my opinion," which means that it is in the practitioner's opinion that the patient should be booked off, "to my knowledge," which is if the practitioner is certain that the patient should be booked off. Lastly, as informed, for if the patient or someone else has the opinion that the patient should be booked off from work. Tick the necessary unfit for checkbox that applies to the type of activity that the patient is booked off from. If the practitioner wants to add any extra information or notes for the patient, these notes can be added in the additional comments field. Before being able to finalize a sick note, the user must click on the doctor's signature button to add the practitioner's signature on the signature capture screen. Please note that no sick note can be completed without a signature from the practitioner. For more information on how to add a practitioner's signature, please refer to the How to Add a Doctor's Signature user manual linked in this video's description.